Can somebody tell me how a boy who only believed in ghosts and a girl who only believed in aliens went from this to fighting cursed spirits and cosmic horrors side by side in the weirdest high school battle ever? In this video, I'll recap all the episodes of Dan Da Dan. Now, let's dive into it. In the first episode, Momo Ayase breaks up with her boyfriend after he asks for money and suggests sleeping together at a hotel. Heartbroken, she vents to her friends, who mock her for dating someone just because he looked like her favorite actor, Ken Takakura. While walking through school feeling down, Momo intervenes when she sees a bullied boy, who later thanks her and starts talking endlessly about aliens. Annoyed but sympathetic, she apologizes, leading to a debate about ghosts versus aliens. To prove which is real, they challenge each other to investigate haunted or alien-related spots. That night, Momo explores an abandoned hospital looking for ghosts, while the boy, nicknamed Occult Kun, visits a tunnel in search of UFOs. During their call, Momo opens up about her past and her grandmother, a spirit medium. Occult Kun soon encounters a horrifying ghost called Turbo Granny, who chases and curses him. Momo rushes to help but is captured by aliens known as the Serpos, who plan to harvest her reproductive organs. Just as they begin, Turbo Granny, now possessing Occult Kun, bursts in and attacks the aliens. Momo remembers her grandmother's teachings and awakens her hidden psychic power, freeing herself and defeating the Serpos with a powerful kick. After the battle, Momo helps exorcise Turbo Granny from Occult Kun, though the ghost warns that she's taken his genitals and can only be defeated at her tunnel. Realizing that both ghosts and aliens exist, Momo and the boy decide to continue together. When she finally learns his name, Ken Takakura, she's left completely speechless. In the next episode, after discovering that the boy's real name is Ken Takakura, Momo refuses to believe it and tells him not to use it around her. Instead, she gives him the nickname Okarun, which he reluctantly accepts. Since it's daytime and ghosts don't appear in sunlight, Momo invites him to her house until night so they can later confront Turbo Granny together. When Okarun tries to enter through the Torii gate, his body suddenly bursts into flames. Momo quickly uses her psychic powers to throw him into the river and realizes that the talisman on the gate, meant to repel spirits, caused it. After removing it, Okarun safely enters, though his hair is now hilariously burnt into an old lady perm. Inside, Okarun is distraught about losing his genitals to Turbo Granny. Momo scolds him for his recklessness, but softens when he admits he only wanted to make a friend. She reassures him that his real problem is shutting himself off from others and promises to talk about the paranormal with him. Their peace is interrupted when an evil spirit's doorbell rings. Realizing the missing talisman allowed it in, they rush outside to fix it, only to find their surroundings warped by a black mist. A massive being, identified as the Flatwoods Monster, appears, accusing them of breaking a promise and threatening to take their banana organs. The pair flee, but Okarun suggests that Momo suppress his curse so he can control Turbo Granny's power. It works, allowing him to move at super speed and attack the monster, though his human body struggles to keep up. Momo then realizes the creature fights like a sumo wrestler and plans to make it fall. Combining her psychic strength with Okarun's speed, they damage its limbs, but the alien grows new ones and slams Momo into a wall. Pretending to be defeated, Momo uses the destruction to reach the Torii gate, replaces the talisman, and burns the Flatwoods Monster to ashes, returning them to the real world. Exhausted but relieved, Momo collapses, and as Okarun checks on her, Turbo Granny's curse begins to take hold of him once more. In the next episode, opens with psychic Santa Dodoria fumbling a live reading and walking home nervously afterward. Meanwhile, Seiko, Momo's grandmother, arrives just in time to save her from Turbo Granny. Using her spiritual bat and 2 protective circles, she traps the evil spirit in a barrier and burns her each time she tries to escape. Turbo Granny warns that killing her will hurt Okarun, but Seiko refuses to stop and finishes the exorcism with a sealing flame. Momo later wakes up at home, worried about Okarun. When Seiko claims to have defeated the ghost, Momo panics, only to discover it was a lie meant to tease her. Okarun is safe inside the shrine. After some playful teasing about her feelings for him, Seiko explains that Turbo Granny has fused with an earthbound spirit, becoming even stronger. Despite being told to stay away, Momo insists on helping Okarun, saying it's what Ken Takakura would do. Amused, Seiko agrees to train them. During training, Momo learns to control her psychokinesis through touch, but Okarun still struggles with the curse. Suddenly, Turbo Granny manifests through him, threatening to kill anyone he's seen unless Momo faces her that night. After she vanishes, Seiko gives Momo and Okarun protective garments and prays for their safety. On the train to the tunnel, Momo burns with determination to avenge her grandmother's injury, while Okarun hides his face in embarrassment at their eccentric outfits. In the following episode, Momo and Okarun cautiously enter Turbo Granny's tunnel, preparing to confront the evil spirit. Momo believes it will be easier than their last battle, but they're shocked to see a giant head of Turbo Granny blocking both exits. Momo attacks using her psychic bats, but Turbo Granny easily destroys them with her monstrous eyes. When Momo tells Okarun to use the ghost power, Turbo Granny instead returns his genitals, stripping him of his strength. Remembering her grandmother's word, Momo challenges Turbo Granny to a game of tag, knowing the spirit's pride will force her to accept. Turbo Granny agrees but cheats by counting irregularly, catching Momo almost immediately. Furious, Okarun bites Turbo Granny in desperation, forcing her to possess him fully. Using her sense of touch, Momo traps Turbo Granny's aura inside Okarun, leading the ghost to destroy herself in the process. Just as they think it's over, the earthbound spirit crab appears, revealing itself as Turbo Granny's fusion partner. Okarun uses his regained speed to carry Momo as they flee through the city. To slow the spirit, Momo uses her powers to drop boiling water from a hot spring pipe, weakening it. But soon, possessed townspeople block their escape, controlled by Turbo Granny and the earthbound crab. Okarun pushes through using Turbo Granny's speed, but collapses from exhaustion. Turbo Granny then merges completely with the crab, turning into a monstrous hybrid. Refusing to run, Momo latches onto a passing train with her psychokinesis, leading the creature straight into her grandmother's exorcism trap. The merged spirit is purified, freeing the souls of the murdered schoolgirls trapped inside. Later, Momo, Okarun, and her grandmother return to the tunnel to honor the freed spirits. Seiko explains that Turbo Granny originally sought to comfort the restless soul, teaching Momo that the living and dead must coexist. That night, during dinner, Seiko teases Okarun about checking if his missing part has returned, making him panic. When he leaves, Momo changes her goodbye to "see you tomorrow," bringing a quiet smile to his face. In the other episode, the next day at school, Okarun worries about how to greet Momo, only to find her waiting for him outside. Thinking she's waiting for someone else, he hesitates, until she calls him over, happily chatting as they walk in together. Both quietly look forward to seeing each other again during lunch. Okarun ignores the teasing from classmates, while Momo daydreams about their talk, making her friends think she got back with her ex. At lunch, they search for each other, but keep missing until they literally bump into one another, teeth first. Their friends notice, and when they deny being a couple, an argument ruins the mood. Upset, Okarun hides in the bathroom and realizes, horrified, that while his genitals are back, his testicles are still missing. Later, when he awkwardly approaches Momo to explain, she misreads his gesture and tells him to leave. Believing she's embarrassed, he walks away. Regretting it, Momo spots him with a girl named Ira, who pretends to be kind but later brags about tricking him. Angry, Momo uses her psychic powers to drop a basin on Ira's head and then apologizes to Okarun, who forgives her. Back home, Seiko senses something strange inside Okarun and asks Momo to bring a Maneki Neko doll. After hitting Okarun with her paper fan, the doll springs to life. It's Turbo Granny, who survived by hiding inside him. Weakened but defiant, she threatens revenge. When Okarun demands his balls back, Turbo Granny warns that killing her means losing them forever, even offering a twisted deal: kill Momo and Seiko to get them back. Furious, Okarun transforms, and Seiko explains that Turbo Granny's power still lingers inside him. Despite everything, Momo admits she can't hate Turbo Granny after learning her kind past and offers a truce. Help them find Okarun's missing balls in exchange for her power. Turbo Granny agrees, but admits she's already lost them. In the next episode, Momo, Okarun, and Turbo Granny begin searching for Okarun's missing testicles, which the yokai claims are coated in golden spiritual energy. When they can't find them, Turbo Granny offhandedly suggests another spirit may have taken them, annoying both Momo and Okarun. Later, Seiko promises to investigate while warning Okarun to keep the yokai's power under control. At school, Okarun learns that a rumor about Momo is spreading. When a classmate calls her cute, he blushes, then gets angry, and accidentally releases Turbo Granny's power. After calming down, he runs off to hide her, but when Momo Momo approaches, he's too flustered to look at her. Confused, Momo chases him, thinking he's avoiding her. Meanwhile, Era, the girl Momo hit with a basin, secretly possesses one of Okarun's golden kintama, believing it makes her a chosen savior after seeing a strange woman in red. On the rooftop, Turbo Granny reveals she's been searching for the kintama too, warning that if a human holds it, they'll gain spiritual sight and attract yokai. Later, Era lures Momo into an abandoned building under false pretenses, where her friends ambush and attempt to exorcise her. Momo breaks free, and Era uses the kintama in her ritual just as Okarun arrives. Momo warns that Era has his missing ball, but before they can act, the mysterious woman appears and kidnaps Aera. The woman identifies herself as Era's mother, battling Okarun with superhuman speed and swallowing him whole. Momo tries to save him, but is overpowered and devoured as well. Inside, she uses Aera's lighter rosary to ignite the yokai's hair, forcing her to spit everyone out. Turbo Granny names their foe, Acrobatic Silky, a red-clad yokai famed for her agility. With Okarun back on his feet, he and Momo prepare to strike back together. In the next episode, Acrobatic Silky chases Momo and Okarun as they try to protect the unconscious Aera. Guided by Momo, Okarun carries Aera through the crowded building in his Turbo Granny form, luring the yokai into a trap. When Silky overpowers Momo and nearly snatches Aera, her damaged hair becomes tangled in the ceiling beams, exactly as Momo planned. Using her psychic powers, Momo restrains Silky's legs and urges Okarun to strike, forcing him to improvise an attack with his speed. Their combined effort sends Silky crashing down, ending the battle. Afterward, Momo and Okarun recover Okarun's kintama from Era, but Turbo Granny grimly reveals that the girl is dead. Checking her pulse, Okarun confirms it. Refusing to give up, they attempt CPR, while Turbo Granny calls for help. Suddenly, Acrobatic Silky rises again, but instead of attacking, she offers to save Era by transferring her spiritual aura to her. When Momo doubts her sincerity, Silky rips her own mouth open as proof of her vow. Cautiously, Momo agrees and channels Silky's energy through her psychic powers, glimpsing the yokai's tragic past in the process. Once a loving mother, Silky had lost her child and took her own life, her grief turning her into a yokai. When she later met young Era, who mistook her for her real mother, Silky clung to the illusion and began protecting her, believing she was her daughter reborn. Moved by this revelation, Momo weeps as Era suddenly revives. Silky, remorseful, apologizes before beginning to fade away. Turbo Granny explains that without her aura, Silky's spirit will vanish from memory instead of peacefully passing on. Hearing this, Era embraces her and calls her mother, allowing Silky to finally find peace and ascend to the afterlife with a smile. In the next episode, after the battle with Acrobatic Silky, Era joins Momo, Okarun, Seiko, and Turbo Granny for dinner. Momo apologizes for dropping a basin on her, but Aira calls her a demon and vows to defeat her one day. The two argue until Aira turns to Okarun, thanking him for saving her and blushingly promising to free him from Momo's influence. Later that night, Turbo Granny and Seiko humorously restore Okarun's missing ball during a game of baseball. The next day, Momo asks Okarun to meet on the rooftop to discuss his other missing ball, but he says he's busy with a report. Suspicious, Momo has lunch with Miko and Muko, who tease that Okarun might be hiding something about a girl, making her think of Aira. While grabbing drinks, she decides to check on him and is stunned to find Okarun on top of Aira in the courtyard. Earlier, Okarun had been training per Seiko's advice when Aira arrived and awkwardly tried to kiss him, claiming she was following advice from her father's romance books. Startled, Okarun tripped and fell on her, right as Momo walked in. Misunderstanding the scene, Momo storms off in anger. During class, she struggles to focus, while Okarun worries about making things right. Suddenly, the school floods and everyone vanishes. Okarun and Aira realize they've been trapped in another dimension, while Momo faces a giant snake-like alien attacking her classroom. Meanwhile, Okarun and Aira are confronted by a crab-headed Serpo, one of the aliens they fought before. Okarun transforms into his Turbo Granny form, but is overpowered as the Serpos prepare to extract his banana organ. Just as he's about to be cut open, Aira manifests new powers, transforming and attacking the aliens with her hair, declaring herself the chosen one sent to save him. In the following episode, after Aira saves Okarun from the Serpos, she checks on him but blushes when she realizes he's naked, misreading it as a romantic move. One of the Serpos, noticing Aira's unusual powers, sends the crab-headed alien to fight her directly, while he attacks from afar with telekinesis. Aira dodges the blows and kicks the crab alien into the ceiling, but the Serpo traps her against a wall and attacks again. Okarun steps in but loses his yokai powers when the Serpo activates his awesome zone. Just as things look dire, Momo arrives, disrupting the Serpo's psychic control and scolding Okarun for being caught with Aira. Recognizing Momo as their old enemy, the Serpos prepare for a full battle. Aira joins forces with Momo, transforming into her acrobatic silky form, but accidentally calls Okarun Ken, flustering Momo and causing her to lose focus. Taking advantage, the Serpos inject the crab alien with a power-boosting serum, turning him into a mantis shrimp monster. Momo quickly regains her composure, restores her psychokinesis, and joins Okarun and Aira in fighting back. Their teamwork begins to turn the tide until the entire battlefield suddenly floods. Looking up, Momo and Okarun spot a giant sea creature, Nessie, swimming overhead. Forced underwater, Okarun struggles to fight since Turbo Granny's powers don't work there. He and Momo argue mid-battle over the earlier misunderstanding with Aira until he admits he doesn't want her to think badly of him. This inspires Momo to use her psychic power to turn Okarun into a speedboat, allowing them to rescue Aira and drain the water from her lungs. Meanwhile, the Serpos fuse the crab alien's body with Nessie, forming the monstrous Serpo Dover demon Nessie. It attacks with water blasts and shockwave punches. Momo realizes its limbs weaken outside water and uses her powers to drain the battlefield, causing its arms to tear apart. In the final clash, Aira restrains the creature with her hair, and Okarun speeds along it to land the finishing blow. The trio escape the void safely, only to find themselves back at school in their underwear, fleeing in embarrassment. In the other episode, after the school incident, Momo, Okarun, and Aira are questioned by the school nurse about being seen in their underwear. Once alone, they reflect on their humiliation. Aira explains she accidentally used Acrobatic Silky's power during the Serpo battle, which Okarun believes could attract aliens interested in humans with yokai energy. Still embarrassed, Momo lets Aira blame her for the event just to avoid trouble. Later, Momo asks Okarun about what really happened with Aira during lunch. He admits she tried to kiss him, and he fell while pushing her away. When Momo asks why he hid his training, he says he wanted to look cool in front of her, making her laugh and tease him. Before she can reply, Miko and Muko interrupt, assuming she and Aira fought over Okarun in their underwear, which Momo denies. Meanwhile, Aira, pretending to be innocent, overhears classmates insulting Momo and finally confesses that she lied about her. Guilt-ridden, she leaves the room. Outside, Momo confronts her about the lie, but their talk is interrupted when the Dover demon suddenly appears and collapses. The group later nurses the alien back to health at the Ayase house. Momo believes he's proof of alien life, though Seiko mistakes him for a kappa. When they offer him curry, he's moved to tears by their kindness. During dinner, he admits he turned to crime to afford blood transfusions for his sick son. Okarun offers to sell his kintama to help, but Momo stops him, calling it a temporary fix. Touched, the Dover demon refuses their help until Seiko offers him milk, his species' version of blood, and even arranges a cow for his son. Grateful, he departs peacefully. Afterward, Momo, Okarun, and Aira beg Seiko for new school uniforms. She agrees for Okarun and Aira, but makes Momo earn hers by doing a Hiroshi Abe impression. Embarrassed, Momo performs it, only to open the door mid-impression and come face to face with Gigi, her childhood friend and first crush, leaving her and Okarun stunned. In the next episode, Momo is shocked to see Gigi again, while Okarun quietly notes his confident appearance. Seiko reveals that Gigi will be living with them because his parents are hospitalized, surprising both Momo and Okarun. Aira, misunderstanding the situation, assumes Momo is forming an army for a major battle and storms off, leaving Momo exasperated. Before Okarun leaves, Momo asks him to say, "See you tomorrow," repeating her earlier words and leaving them both flustered. Later, Gigi admits that he came to Seiko for help after an evil spirit began tormenting his house, and several exorcists died trying to banish it. He also apologizes to Momo for teasing her as kids. Seiko tells Momo she will have to handle the case herself since her powers only work inside Kamigo City, and suspects Gigi's ability to see spirits may be linked to Okarun's missing kintama. She even promises to buy Momo a new school uniform if she takes the job. The next day, Gigi transfers into Momo's class, instantly charming their classmates and embarrassing her by joking that they live together. Momo angrily strangles him as Okarun, watching from afar, worries that Momo might grow closer to her old crush. To distract himself, he trains alone until Momo joins him for lunch, teasing him while offering to feed him. Just as things things grow lighthearted, Gigi appears with Momo's favorite yogurt, which makes her happy but deflates Okarun, who walks away feeling jealous. Suddenly, an anatomical model dashes through the school halls. Okarun warns Momo, and Gigi pulls her to safety as it jumps over them. Momo spots a golden orb on its body, possibly Okarun's missing Kintama, and chases after it with Gigi. Okarun transforms into Turbo Granny form to catch up and saves them from an oncoming bus. Shocked, Gigi learns the creature carrying them is actually Okarun. Their chase ends at a junkyard, where they discover the model is a sentient doll named Taro, desperately trying to rescue another broken doll named Hana. Momo assures him they mean no harm, only wanting to examine the golden sphere. As Taro expresses his love for Hana, Okarun blushes, realizing his own feelings for Momo mirror Taro's devotion. In the season 1 finale, after bringing Hana to the Ayase house, Momo, Okarun, and Gigi beg Seiko to let her stay. Seiko first suggests Okarun's home, but after their persistent pleading, and Momo reminding her that even Turbo Granny lives with them, she agrees, warning not to disturb the neighbors. While setting the table, Gigi flirts with Momo, brushing lint off her and making Okarun jealous, who tries to interrupt by singing. The boys' antics irritate Momo until Seiko yells at them and instructs her to pack for a weekend at Gigi's house to cleanse the curse there. Okarun is alarmed until Momo assures him he's coming too. Meanwhile, Taro, the anatomical doll, rushes to see Hana but gets hit by a truck. The next morning, he arrives battered but alive, apologizing and thanking Momo for watching over Hana. As they promise to meet daily, Gigi lies awake, haunted by the spirit in his house. On the train to Gigi's village, Momo and Gigi's friendly chatter makes Okarun jealous, leading him to accidentally shout Kintama, which Momo laughs off. Trying to recover, he brings up cryptids, sparking a friendly talk with Gigi, leaving Momo blushing when Okarun quotes Ken Takakura. Arriving at the Enjoji home, Momo admires the hot spring village. Gigi explains the volcano nearby is dormant. Sensing weak spirit energy, Momo assumes the exorcism will be easy and heads to the springs while the boys stay behind. Gigi invites Okarun to play soccer, and it turns into a funny debate over who likes Momo more. At the hot spring, Momo relaxes but soon feels dizzy, unaware of men spying on her. Meanwhile, Okarun and Gigi find a hidden room full of talismans, realizing the house hides something sinister. As Momo prepares to leave the bath, the men block her path, claiming it's a mixed bath, and close in, while the boys, breaking through the wall, uncover the dark secret behind Gigi's cursed home. In the first episode of season 2, as the men surround Momo, she tries to fight back, but is too dizzy to use her powers, and is thrown into the water. Suddenly, the hot spring collapses, trapping the attackers and saving her. Nearby, Turbo Granny appears, revealing she secretly hid in Momo's bag just to bathe. The incident attracts locals, who mistake the men for vandals and chase them away. Momo thanks Turbo Granny, who warns her that Gigi's house is covered in blood and extremely dangerous. Meanwhile, Okarun and Gigi investigate the hidden room when the Kido family, Gigi's landlords, arrive. They pretend to be friendly, but quickly turn hostile, questioning Gigi about hiring exorcists. When he denies it, the matriarch threatens him with a shotgun, claiming she has a hunting license. The situation eases when Okarun correctly answers a test question about Gigi's favorite soccer team, but tensions rise again when the family catches Gigi lying about bringing girls home. Elsewhere, Momo visits the Tsuchinoko shrine and meets a priest trying to become a bootuber. He explains that the Tsuchinoko legend began as a hoax to prevent panic over the volcano and attract tourists. Momo suggests he share the story online, surprising him with her idea. When Momo returns, she finds Okarun and Gigi beaten by the Kidos. The family head reveals that their home is actually an altar for human sacrifices meant to appease the Tsuchinoko and prevent volcanic eruptions. Horrified, Momo realizes Gigi's parents were likely among the offerings. As the Kidos prepare to sacrifice them, the floor turns to quicksand, dragging everyone, Momo, Okarun, Gigi, Turbo Granny, and the Kidos, into an underground lair. There they find the creature is actually a kurigari, a monstrous Mongolian deathworm. When the Kidos try to continue their ritual, the beast devours them instead. Seeking shelter, Gigi turns to see Okarun possessed by Turbo Granny, glaring furiously as their next battle begins. In the next episode, sensing Okarun acting strangely, Gigi realizes the Tsuchinoko is near and pulls him and Momo to safety. He stops Okarun from hurting himself, recalling his parents' similar suicidal behavior. Meanwhile, Momo, under the same influence, tries to stab herself but is saved by Turbo Granny, who explains that the Tsuchinoko's psychic waves drive people to suicide. side, revealing what truly happened to Gigi's parents. When Gigi asks why he's unaffected, Momo suddenly attacks him, forcing him to carry both her and Okarun as he flees. Outside, Gigi encounters the Evil Eye, the spirit haunting him. Momo and Okarun regain their senses as Turbo Granny warns not to look at it. The yokai kills through eye contact and is countering the Tsuchinoko's waves. Seizing the chance, Okarun transforms and decapitates the Tsuchinoko, but it regenerates. When Gigi demands answers, the Evil Eye shows him memories of his tragic past as a child sacrifice, whose suffering twisted him into a cursed spirit. Sympathizing with him, Gigi believes the Evil Eye isn't evil and rushes to find his corpse. Momo and Turbo Granny follow, but the Tsuchinoko attacks, electrocuting and trapping them. Unconscious, Gigi meets the Evil Eye's spirit, apologizes, and accepts his offer to play, allowing himself to be possessed. Using Gigi's body, the Evil Eye declares he'll destroy humanity. Controlling Gigi, he pins Momo to the wall and calls her companion yokai a mere servant. When she pleads for Gigi to return, he tells her the body is his now. Creating a sphere of cursed energy, he launches it at the Tsuchinoko, forcing it underground. Turbo Granny warns that Gigi's powerful spirit made him an ideal host, and that he's no longer on their side. As the Evil Eye attacks again, Okarun appears, blocking the blow and vowing not to forgive anyone who hurts Momo. In the following episode, after Okarun blocks the Evil Eye's attack on Momo, he rushes her to the top of the lair. Realizing the Tsuchinoko plans to flood the chamber with venom, Okarun urges Momo to escape while he faces Gigi alone. Though hesitant, Momo trusts him and promises to come back. Using his Turbo Granny form, Okarun kicks Momo upward on a chair, and she narrowly reaches the ceiling using her psychic powers. Relieved, Okarun prepares to fight, but the Evil Eye, controlling Gigi's body, appears and declares his intent to kill him. Above ground, Momo tries to help by making a rope from curtains, but finds it too short. Frustrated, she recalls a childhood memory with Gigi that inspires her to set the Enjoji house on fire, knowing it will draw firefighters and flood the area. Meanwhile, Okarun battles the Evil Eye but is overpowered as the Tsuchinoko's venom weakens Gigi's body. Enraged by the Evil Eye's threats toward Momo, Okarun grabs his face and unleashes a furious barrage of turbo squat punches, shattering the cursed house barrier and knocking the Evil Eye unconscious, scolding him for harming Momo, stealing Gigi's body, and making him mad. Exhausted, Okarun collapses briefly before trying to rescue Turbo Granny, who's still trapped in the Tsuchinoko's sticky mucus. However, he also gets caught, leaving both of them shouting for Momo's help. On the surface, Momo is detained after setting the house ablaze, but pleads with firefighters to spray the ground. As water floods the soil, the Tsuchinoko bursts out, unable to stay underground. Remembering Gigi's lesson that worms dry in sunlight, Momo uses her psychic power to destroy the house and even hurl a fire truck, exposing the monster to the sun. The Tsuchinoko rapidly shrivels and dies, vomiting up the still-living Kito family. Furious, the matriarch scolds Momo for killing their sacred creature, but Momo snaps that she'll deal with them later, just as the volcano suddenly erupts in the distance. In the other episode, as the volcano erupts, panic spreads through the village. The Kito matriarch blames Momo for causing it and cites the ancient prophecy of the dragon rising to heaven. Momo questions how that could describe the Tsuchinoko, which couldn't survive sunlight. Reanalyzing the prophecy, she realizes it referred not to the Tsuchinoko, but to a fountain, a sign of volcanic unrest that had been misunderstood for centuries. Acting quickly, Momo uses her powers to transport the Tsuchinoko's corpse to the hot spring, plugging its tail into the geyser and using its body to divert and cool the magma. Her actions anger the Kito family, who accuse her of desecration, but before they can attack, Manjiro, the shrine priest, arrives. Revealing himself as Seiko's disciple, he fends off the family while Momo continues her work. Suddenly, the Evil Eye appears, destroying the Tsuchinoko's corpse and turning his rage on everyone. Momo protects Manjiro and the matriarch, pleading for Gigi to be freed, but the spirit ignores her and attacks again. Overwhelmed, Momo and her ally struggle to hold their ground until the Dover demon bursts in, stopping the Evil Eye's strike with a barrage of punches. Moments later, Seiko and Taro descend from the Dover demon's spacecraft to assist. With Manjiro's chanting, Taro traps the Evil Eye inside himself, sealing the fight. Seiko declares the crisis over and orders everyone to head home. Aboard the ship, Chikatita pilots while using the Tsuchinoko's remains to cool the forest fire. Seiko scolds Manjiro for letting the situation spiral, then then praises him for handling it. She thanks Taro for sealing the spirit, half-jokingly telling him to store his spare organs in a bag before realizing Momo, Okarun, and Turbo Granny are missing. Back at the destroyed Enjoji house, Momo finds the lair flooded with lava. Refusing to give up, she asks Chiquitita to use the Tsuchinoko's mucus to cool the molten pool. Together, they extract a large magma rock, which Momo cracks open to reveal Okarun and Turbo Granny alive. The creature's mucus had protected them from the heat. Relieved, Okarun worries for Gigi, but Momo assures him he's safe. As he climbs out and stumbles close to her, Momo hugs him tightly, confessing how terrified she was of losing him. In the other episode, at the Ayase residence, Momo, Seiko, and Manjiro perform a ritual to exorcise the evil eye from Gigi, who remains trapped inside Taro's body, but their efforts fail as the spirit mocks them, claiming it can't be removed. Later that evening, everyone, Momo, Okarun, Aira, Seiko, Turbo Granny, Taro, Hana, Manjiro, and the Dover demon, gathers for dinner. During their meal, Taro suddenly speaks in Gigi's voice, startling the group. Seiko investigates and discovers that cold water awakens the evil eye, while hot water reverses the possession. After confirming this by splashing Taro, Gigi temporarily regains control of his body. Seiko warns Gigi to stay away from cold water and gives Momo and Okarun thermoses of hot water to use if the evil eye resurfaces. Turbo Granny reminds them the yokai is still far too powerful to control. The group then bids farewell to the Dover demon and Chiquitita, who return to space, though they jokingly reveal the demon's real name as Peeny Weenie. The next day, Seiko drives Momo, Okarun, Gigi, and Taro to visit Gigi's parents in the hospital. On the way, Momo and Okarun share a shy moment holding hands before Gigi interrupts. Upon arrival, Gigi becomes emotional seeing his parents again. Meanwhile, a news report reveals that the Kido family has been arrested, though their leader Naki Kido is still at large. Elsewhere, Naki removes her disguise, revealing herself as a subterranean and vowing revenge on Momo for ruining her clan's 200-year plan. Later, Momo invites Okarun and Aira to spend the night at her house to help keep watch over Gigi in case the evil eye resurfaces. Though hesitant, they agree. That evening, as everyone sits down for dinner, a single drop of soy sauce lands on Gigi, instantly triggering the evil eye, who emerges once more and flips the entire table. In the following episode, Momo manages to stop it by dousing Gigi with hot water, returning him to normal, but Aira scolds him for being careless. While tending to Okarun's injuries, moments later, a mysterious group appears outside. Thinking they're intruders, Seiko drives them off, only to discover they're the Hayashi troupe she had hired to perform the exorcism. Once the ritual begins, their music echoes through the house, drawing spirits from all around. But midway through, Gigi begs them to stop, and when Momo restrains him with her powers, she sees a glimpse of the evil eye's tragic past. Understanding his suffering, Gigi pleads for mercy. Moved by this, Seiko halts the exorcism and declares that the evil eye will stay with them as family. Okarun promises to grow stronger to protect Gigi, and Momo vows to do the same, forcing Aira to reluctantly join in. Their moment of unity is cut short when rain falls, reactivating the evil eye and sending Okarun flying through a wall. With the ritual failed, the Hayashi leave, and Seiko jokes they'll need them again soon. That night, she begins training Gigi to control his kai, teaching him how to suppress the yokai's power. Later, Okarun keeps watch as Gigi goes to the bathroom, ensuring no cold water is used. The two share a quiet talk, with Okarun explaining how Seiko once helped him through his curse and told him to repay her kindness by helping others, a lesson that deeply moves Gigi. The next morning, Momo decides to take a part-time job to save up for house repairs. At school, Miko and Muko recommend Ririna's restaurant, which happens to be hiring. Later, they drag Okarun to a maid cafe, where he's stunned to see Momo working there. The two lock eyes, blushing in mutual embarrassment. In the next episode, at Momo Kikoho, Momo is shocked to find Okarun, Miko, and Muko as her customers on her first day as a maid. Miko and Muko tease her relentlessly, and even make her and Okarun pose for a picture together before leaving him behind with a grin, telling him to take his time. After her shift, Okarun insists on walking Momo home. Though she tells him it's unnecessary, he comes back to accompany her anyway. As they walk, he awkwardly reaches for her hand, then pulls back, until Momo grabs his hand herself, saying it's to stay warm. Back home, Gigi successfully completes his kai training, keeping the evil eye suppressed. When Momo and Okarun arrive, Aira accidentally spills her drink on Gigi, triggering the evil eye once again. Before anyone can act, Gigi traps Momo inside his his cursed house, stopping her from using the hot water thermos. As he moves to strangle her, Momo spits out hot water she'd been holding in her mouth, breaking the curse and saving them all. That night, Era apologizes while Okarun and Gigi avoid each other in silence. The next day, Okarun visits Mr. Mantis Shrimp disguised as a human and begs to be his apprentice to learn how to fight. The alien refuses but lets him help with chores, leaving Okarun even more determined to get stronger. Outside, Okarun trains alone until Turbo Granny appears, mocking him. When he says he wants to become stronger to defeat the evil eye, she challenges him to prove it and takes him to train at the school. Ira secretly follows, demanding to join them. After a few insults and a brief scuffle, they enter the music room where Turbo Granny begins rhythm training, explaining that Okarun needs to move faster between actions in combat. But the lesson is cut short when the piano starts playing by itself and a group of large-headed musicians appears. Turbo Granny frowns and warns they're here. In the next episode, when the large-headed musicians appear, demanding to know who disturbed the piano, Era urges Okarun to leave, but Turbo Granny rats them out, forcing the two to transform as the musicians unleash attacks in the form of explosive musical notes. Okarun accidentally triggers one, learning the notes are bombs while rest symbols cause paralysis. Soon, the group is pulled into a surreal paddy field where musical bombs rain down from above. Ira dodges with ease, while Okarun struggles until Turbo Granny yells at him to move with rhythm. Remembering the Hayase exorcism song, Okarun fights in sync with its beat, saving Ira and turning the tide. Working together, they take down the conductor. The battlefield shifts again into an opera hall, where four giants release waves of chorus members. Using her acrobatic silky hair, Era lifts herself and Okarun onto a giant's head. She distracts the others, making them hit each other, while Okarun charges at the musicians. Realizing he can only go all out twice, he recalls Turbo Granny's words about rhythm and lands 5 headbutts in one motion, defeating them all and ending the illusion. Back in the classroom, Era and Okarun catch their breath as Turbo Granny proudly takes credit, explaining the enemies were tulpas, manifestations of fear from the classroom portraits that appear when the piano is played at 2 a.m. As Era accuses her of keeping secrets, Turbo Granny steps on a piano key, accidentally summoning the musicians again. Meanwhile, at the Ayase house, Manjiro decides to hold another exorcism for the evil eye, despite Momo's protests. The conversation is cut short when Okarun bursts in, declaring he'll face the evil eye himself to protect everyone. Seeing his determination, Seiko allows it. After Gigi is splashed with cold water, the evil eye emerges, and Okarun, in his Turbo Granny form, rushes in to fight. In the other episode, with his refined control over Turbo Granny's speed, Okarun overwhelms the evil eye, finishing with a powerful headbutt that sends the yokai crashing into the Ayase house. After losing his transformation, Okarun refuses to keep fighting, calling the evil eye weaker. Offended, the yokai protests until Okarun proposes a deal. They'll fight only on Tuesdays, and he'll be the sole target. Amused yet tricked, the evil eye agrees, handing over his underwear as proof of their pact before freeing Gigi. With Gigi unaware he's naked, Seiko dryly comments on his free spirit. Later, Manjiro takes the underwear to his shrine, promising to keep it sealed. Gigi's parents visit to thank Seiko, while Momo, Okarun, and Era share goodbyes, with Momo teasing Okarun's plain farewell. After everyone leaves, Seiko suggests going to a bathhouse, which Momo and Turbo Granny gladly accept. Post-bath, Seiko insists they'll rebuild the ruined house themselves despite having no money. When they find an alien trespassing and kick him out, they realize he's Ludris, a builder sent by Mr. Mantis Shrimp. Embarrassed, Momo apologizes, and with nanoskin technology, the team rebuilds the Ayase home in record time. When finished, Seiko thanks everyone, and Okarun admits the place feels like home, making Momo smile. The next morning, Gigi walks to school with Momo, apologizing for past trouble and mentioning that the evil eye has behaved since his deal with Okarun. When he teasingly asks if she likes someone, she flusters and denies it. At school, Gigi charms the girls, but a cold drink triggers the evil eye, who appears briefly and scares them before Momo drags him away. As they argue, students mistake it for flirting, and when the yokai sees a soccer ball, he rushes the field, thinking it's his grudge ball. Later, Miko and Muko show Momo a photo of a floating golden orb, the apartment complex ghost, piquing her interest. In the next episode, in class, a student who has been watching Okarun since he befriended Momo finally approaches him, declaring him his enemy. When Okarun asks why, the boy admits he's jealous of how easily Okarun gets along with Momo and Ira. Okarun insists there's nothing romantic, but before he can explain, Momo bursts in shouting that she's found his missing Kintama, leaving the class in stunned silence. The boy awkwardly claims to be Okarun's friend when Momo asks, while the class rep misreads the situation and scolds Momo for disrupting class, sparking an argument that ends even more awkwardly when the jealous boy blurts out a dirty joke, thinking it'll make him popular. Later, Momo and Okarun arrive at an abandoned apartment complex where the missing Kintama is located. As they talk, Momo teases Okarun for being popular, making him flustered. The same classmate secretly follows, but gives himself away after knocking over a paint can. Suddenly, he's lifted by an unseen force and hurled toward Momo, but Okarun pushes her away just in time and spots the glowing Kintama nearby. When he reaches for it, it repels him, revealing something alive inside. The orb flies off, and Momo and Okarun chase it, leaving the classmate to guard their bags, only for the invisible entity to attack him. After saving him, they discover that its invisibility works through retroreflection, allowing visibility from certain angles. Using this, Momo swings around to grab it, while Okarun lands a full-speed hit that sends it flying outside. Proud of his deduction, the boy explains the science behind it, until they all freeze, staring down at the creature's true form, a massive kaiju peering through the hole in the wall, now towering over them. In the next episode, the enormous kaiju chases Momo, Okarun, and their classmate through the streets as the sky darkens, confirming it's an alien. Meanwhile, Era realizes they're trapped in a pocket dimension and meets Gigi, who assumes he caused it. She assures him he didn't, and together they find Momo's group just as the monster attacks. When their classmate trips, Momo, Era, and Okarun rush in to save him. Momo orders Gigi to take the boy home while the others stay to fight. Ira complains about Momo taking charge, but still joins the battle. Ira, in her acrobatic silky form, lashes the kaiju with her hair, but it's unharmed. Momo deduces it evolved from an invisible speed type into a brute force power type, firing energy blasts from its horn. They counterattack, Era hurling cars, Momo hitting its legs, and Okarun analyzing its patterns. When Ira is struck and hurt, Momo saves her, and together they redirect the kaiju's lightning back at it, causing major damage. But the creature suddenly vanishes, turning invisible, and ambushes them again. Elsewhere, as Gigi carries the classmate to safety, the boy's antics trigger the evil eye when his sweat touches Gigi. Seeing Okarun mentioned, the yokai races off in excitement to find him. Back at the house, Okarun uses his all-out form to rescue Ira but collapses afterward. Momo drags them both home, furious when she finds Ira was faking being unconscious to cling to Okarun. Their argument stops when the evil eye appears, eager to fight, but Okarun reminds him their duel day is Tuesday. With Seiko gone, they struggle for a plan until Okarun notices the nanoskin walls glowing. He proposes reshaping the house into a weapon, but his attempt nearly destroys it. The classmate, introducing himself as Kinta Sakata, steps in, using his sci-fi knowledge to reshape the nanoskin into a giant mechanical Buddha with cockpits for everyone. Though disappointed it's not a robot, he proudly names it the Great Kinta Bodhisattva Zeta version, as they prepare for their counterattack against the alien kaiju. In the series finale, as the kaiju advances, Momo frantically orders everyone to try different controls inside the mecha, but nothing works. Suddenly, Okarun is ejected, and the evil eye bursts out to watch. The kaiju attacks relentlessly, while Momo, Ira, and Kinta remain trapped inside. Just when Okarun prepares to ask the evil eye for help, the mecha unexpectedly raises its arm to block a strike. Realizing it moves through visualization, Kinta takes command and imagines a counterattack, kicking the kaiju back. Empowered by his imagination, Kinta fully syncs with the machine and unleashes a flurry of blows, thrilled to finally pilot a real mecha. But the victory is short-lived. The kaiju vanishes, reappears behind them, and tears off the mecha's leg before slamming it to the ground. Okarun yells for Kinta to eject, but the airbags trap him. The creature keeps crushing the robot until Momo channels her psychic energy through it, grabbing its tail, while Era uses her acrobatic silky hair to reveal its invisible form. Refusing to get motion sick again, Momo powers up the mecha's arms, lifts the kaiju skyward, and power bombs it into the ground, declaring that's how you beat a kaiju. With the monster defeated and shrunk back to normal, the group returns to the real Kamigo City. Momo reshapes the mecha into a UFO to carry the unconscious kaiju back to her home. After landing, she and Era rush out, nauseated, while Kinta cries tears of joy at having piloted a mecha. Later, Okarun, Gigi, and Kinta inspect the fallen kaiju. Using a hot meat bun, Okarun reverts Gigi to normal. When Okarun checks the creature's mouth, he spots something human inside. Unzipping the kaiju's body, they discover a girl piloting a suit. As she wakes up, Momo walks out, just in time to see the girl suddenly kiss Okarun, leaving everyone completely stunned. Thanks for watching till the end. You can click on the videos appearing on the screen to keep watching more of my recaps. From other anime worlds to your favorite cartoon stories. See you in the next one.